taking on Houston. Let's go right to the second quarter. Durant gets fouled by Dillon Brooks. Now they exchange some words. Brooks gets assessed the technical. 15th technical this season, one away from the automatic one-game suspension. Suns trailed at the half. Let's get to the third quarter. Oh, boy. KD steps on the foot, turned his ankle badly, had to be helped off the court, couldn't hardly put any weight at all on that left ankle, man, did not come back.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it. KD's been balling. He's been playing some great basketball individually, and you just hate to see one of the greatest scorers and one of our best players in this league still go out. Rockets
blow the Suns out of the water last night. Now, listen, afterwards, they said obviously KD's ankle is going to have the exam, but they said he's not going to travel with them on their 3-game road trip. Or have we seen the last of Kevin Durant?
Absolutely. They're done. I mean, shut them down, obviously. But here's the thing I go back to with the Phoenix Suns. Outside of the Philadelphia 76ers, the biggest disappointment. I said this in January, February, now I'm saying in March and going into April. That team just lacked leadership, right? I called Kevin Durant out because I wanted him to be more of a leader. Just think about what the Suns gave up to get Kevin Durant. Basically, their whole core. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, a whole lot of picks. And since he's arrived, it's been nothing but failure, right? And so when I look at the Phoenix Suns, they have some decisions to make, right? You tried to trade Kevin Durant at the trade deadline. He knows that, right? And then all of a sudden, what's next? Can Devin Booker be your franchise? Like, these are the things they need to start evaluating right now.
Bobby, have we seen the last of Kevin Durant in a Phoenix Suns jersey?
I think we have, and I don't think they're going to be making the play in here. They're 2-11 in games that Durant doesn't play. They're a game and a half behind just getting in here. I would say it's the most disappointing team that I've seen the last 10 years. It's not just this year, it's also what happened last year, and they have a lot of decisions to make. And basically their get-out-of-jail-free card is trying to move Kevin Durant in the offseason and trying to rebuild on the fly here.
Their season, you said, basically was over last night?
It ended at 10 o'clock last night before Kevin Durant went down with that ankle injury.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's strong. All right, guys, appreciate it. Let's transition now from the pro game to the college game. How about Michigan State and Auburn? Elite 8 matchup. We picked it up in the first half. Johni Broome here. Man, he had himself a half. Had 17 points, 11 rebounds, and look, was just dominating this game. In fact, Auburn up 11 at this point. His parents loving it. Auburn leading 10 here. Look at this. The block. And Broome injures his elbow on that fall. Had to leave the locker room. Took an x-ray. Came back out minutes later. And then look what he does. Talk about a Willis Reed moment. First time he touches the ball, knocks down a 3. Johni Broome had 25 points, 14 boards. Auburn wins 70-64. They are headed to the Final Four. Seth Greenberg here with me. And, Coach, look, when you saw that sequence last night, Broome injures his elbow, injures his knee. You thought he was basically done, goes to the locker room, has the x-rays, comes back out, and first time he touches the ball, knocks down the three-pointer. What were your thoughts?
Willis Reed. That's what I thought. I was at Madison Square Garden when Willis came out of that tunnel. I mean, I was the last row behind the basket, but quite honestly, those are boxes now. But I thought, you know what? This is one of those viral moments that you're going to remember. And maybe this is a omen for what's going to happen in the Final Four. But his ability to come out and knock down that 3, but it was the collective responsibility. It was that Auburn got their edge back. What I mean by that is Chad Baker-Mazara. He lights the fuse. What they did defensively, the shot selection improved. Everything about Auburn says they're playing like they did when they were the #1 team in the country. But that moment, that was all Willis Reed, man. I still remember. I was 13 years old. I was up on my feet and said, look, here comes Willis. And like you could see, that was back in the old days of the Garden when they had the tunnel in center court. I mean, it was a viral moment. That is a viral moment.
Okay, let's talk about the other Elite Eight matchup that we saw yesterday. It was Tennessee taking on Houston. And, of course, Tennessee trying to get to the Final Four for the first time. This is the first half. Terrence Arsenault stepped back from the mid-range, knocked it down. Houston was up 19. Tennessee could not make a shot at all, it seemed like, in the first half. I mean, they tried to scrap their way back, but it was just nothing doing. Manuel Sharp buries. Houston was up 13, and then it's Sharp again. He had 16, 4 of them threes. Kelvin Sampson loves it. He should. His Cougars were just rolling, and they just blew Tennessee out 69-50. Okay, Coach, give me your impressions now of Houston, because they're going to be taking on Duke in the Final Four.
Only one way to describe them: relentless. Defensively, they impose their physicality, their toughness. They build a wall around that three-point line, one step over, and you can't get inside that. The help is early. They don't give you dribble penetration. They run you off the three-point line. They limit you to one shot. And then on the other end, if they miss it, they offensive rebound it. Oh, by the way, they shoot 41% from the three-point line. You saw Sharp. He made 3 threes in a row. L.J. Cryer knocks down threes. Milo Suzan knocks down threes and makes plays. This is the most complete Houston team I've seen under Coach Sampson. They defend, they rebound, they're physical, they're impossible to prepare for because you cannot simulate their toughness, their physicality, their length, and they're knocking down threes. Houston, I'll tell you one thing, there's a bunch of bad dudes.
They are bad dudes. Now, these guys met last year, but in the Sweet 16 last year, I remember it was Shed who got injured for Houston in that game. How does this game, you think, different?
Well, this game is different just because, again, Shed was the heart and soul of their basketball team, but now they replaced Shed with Suzan. And, you're talking about this Duke-Houston game. Look, this is the #1 defense in college basketball against the #1 offense. But, by the way, the #1 offense also was an elite defensive team. So, I mean, you look at this matchup, it's going to be interesting. Duke's ability to protect the front of the rim. Duke's ability to guard the basketball, switch 1 through 5, be connected, be alert, be active is ridiculous. 2 different ways to defend, but these guys, right, their length, their overall length, they match Houston's ability. 2 teams that you cannot simulate preparing for either of these teams. If you're Kelvin Sampson, how do you prepare for Malowach? How do you prepare for the length? How do you prepare for Cooper Flagg? How do you prepare for the force and the pace and the confidence that they play with offensively? On the other hand, John Sharp's got the same problem. He can show them the film. He can talk about rebounding. He can talk about physicality. He can talk about toughness. But once that ball goes up, it's a different deal, man. It's a different deal.
First time since 2008, we've had all 4 #1 seeds in the Final Four. And by the way, that Final Four took place in San Antonio, just like look at Rudy.
He don't want no smoke. Come on, light bread. Scoot over.
Got the technical. Watch the next play, though. Miles Reed going to attack it.
Ain't nothing.
That was Marcus Sasser.
What did Isaiah do, though? See, that's a reputation ejection because he didn't do nothing but try and protect his teammate. He didn't throw no punches.
Well, that was his second technical. That's why he got ejected. But you know what?
It was understood the moment and to get to that 6th spot with Golden State and stay out of that play-in tournament. Anthony Edwards knew that. That's why he came out in the 3rd quarter and did his thing.
Yeah, he had 20 points in that 3rd quarter. You see the T-Wolves won big over Detroit. Detroit, by the way, 5th in the East. Bobby Marks joins us here. Give me your initial reaction there from what you saw.
I love it. I love it. This is who the Detroit Pistons.
He now has 15 technicals. He's got 4 flagrants. He's been suspended 6 games in the past. The NBA looks at players who are repeat offenders differently than other players here. And for a Detroit team that's hanging on for 5th in the Eastern Conference, and for a Minnesota team,
guys who led the league in technical fouls, one of those guys who was ejected, one of those guys that quote unquote had their reputation, but he's an enforcer. And at the end of the day, he didn't swing any punches or whatever the case may be. And I get it, your past do matter, right? But I didn't also witness the league give guys passes at times. And I think these are one of those situations. I hope we don't see 5-6 game suspensions because I don't think that's worthy of that.
Okay, we'll see what happens here when the league doles out its suspensions there from that game. Let's talk about another game last night, and it was Phoenix